get carried away. You blow my mind. I just get carried away. Talking to you, baby. I just get carried away. You blow my mind.
Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back on the Uncle Sharma channel. How are you guys doing? I know guys, I know things have not been going well recently. I know. 3 losses in a row. Scudetto bottled for the moment. I know. But come on guys. Come on guys. It's a freaking UEFA Champions League semi-final, guys, against Barcelona. How can you not be hyped for this, regardless of what's going on in the Serie A, regardless of what happened in the Coppa Italia, regardless of how our domestic season is going, guys? Knicks knocks. How can you not get excited for this game? Like, this is the Champions League semi-final. How can you not get excited for a Champions League semi-final? I don't get it. I understand 100%. You guys know me. I'm a Scudetto first man. Give me a Scudetto. Give me a Scudetto first. Then Champions League is always a nice dream to have. But Scudetto's not there. And I mean, in terms of ranking, Champions League above Serie A any day of the week. And now, if we can't win the Serie A, we go all in for Champions League, guys. We go all in. Every egg, you put it in the Champions League basket. I don't care if it's a free-range egg. I don't care if it's a lab-made egg. I don't care if it's a cruelty egg. Yeah, actually, not a cruelty egg, but put all the eggs in the basket. Champions League basket. I don't care. Let's go. I'm excited for this. I'm looking forward to it. I know, and yeah, no one is in good form at the moment. We are cooked, but I don't care. At least Marvel Lawson, my guy Marvel Lawson, he is ready. He is excited. He is ready for this with his Hunter profile picture. My guy Otlo as well. He knows as well. UEFA Champions League final. Tutti interisti dentro. Tutto dentro interisti. Let's go. Let's go, Otlo. Come on. How many times? I mean, I saw a stat. I forgot how many times it is. Maybe someone can remind me. How many times have Inter in our history been in the Champions League semi-final? And, you know, it's not like about, you know, diminishing the club and the status. It's just the truth, guys. It's just the truth. As a club, we've won the Champions League 3 times. We haven't been in the Champions League semi-finals that many times. We're not a serial Champions League winning and history club. That's just the truth of it. So when we're in it, when we're in these latter stages, I am excited. And as Otlo says, I'm all in. And guess what? These players, let's be real now, guys. You've been with me. There's 24 people here, but all of the channel now, 11K subscribers. Thank you. You've been here with me the whole season. We've watched these players this whole season. Where have these players played better, guys? Where? Which competition? Has it been Supercoppa? Has it been Coppa Italia? Has it been Serie A? No. The one competition that they've turned up in, that pretty much every single game, apart from a couple here and there, pretty much every single game, they've played their ass off. They've performed the best in. They defended like their life depended on it. And they've also been more clinical in. It's the UEFA Champions League. So I'm all in for Champions League. I know the players are all in for Champions League. Now, of course, Inzaghi has to be an all in for Champions League. Obviously, Oak Tree, they're all in for Champions League. Marotta is obviously in for the Champions League. So come on, guys. Come on, guys. I'm not being delusional. I'm talking about my excitement. I'm talking about me looking forward to this. And I'm talking about I have some form of confidence in these guys because they've shown it to me. They didn't deserve our confidence in the Serie A, but they deserve it in the Champions League. Anyway, 4 minutes of me having a little bit of a monologue, maybe trying to get myself hyped up, maybe trying to get you guys hyped up for the Champions League. But you guys know what to do. Leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you're new. UCL dealing trophy in our hands. Yeah, we have to depend on Napoli in Serie A 100%. And Bigotelli, shouts out to Interclub Trinidad. Always supporting. Appreciate you guys. You're here in the house. Always one of the positive Interisti. I always appreciate you, bro. Bros of the world can do it. I predicted Arsenal Inter final. Oh my god, Arsenal Inter final would be the juiciest, spiciest. Would bring down the Twitter on its knees. The Twitter servers would crash. The rivalry that somehow generated itself over the last couple of years would go to new heights. Yeah, that would be good. Arsenal, Arsenal Barca, of course, probably as a football fan, would be an interesting watch as well. But Arsenal Inter, woo, for the spice level, woo, my god, delicious. We need a miracle from God to get through them. Low-key, God has given us a little bit. We'll get into it in terms of injury news for Barca. Similar to Bayern Munich, let's be real. God helped us a little bit in terms of injuries when it came to Bayern Munich. Musiala missing, Alphonso Davies missing, Upamecano missing. Little bit of help there came. There's a little bit of help coming for this fixture as well. Marvel Lawson, come on, I love it. I love it, Marvel Lawson. You gave me more hype. Let's do this. Ricky Buzz, what's up, brother? Check out Ricky Buzz's channel as well. He used to do Intercontinental, but now he does film movie reviews and things like that. And he's done a recent one on the Sinners movie. So make sure you check Ricky Buzz's channel out. He also came on my channel a couple of years back. Luke, my e-commerce god, is in the house. What's up, brother? Matteo, biggest game of the season. It is now. It is, Matteo, for sure. I mean, a Champions League semi-final pretty much always is the biggest game of the season, unless you get to the final, obviously, regardless of whether you're in the Scudetto race or not. And then in Nerazzurri, let's get this W. Mo B. Oh, come on, man. Come on, Mo B. Come on, man. It's a Champions League semi-final. I'm not having this, guys. I'm not having it. I'm not having it. I'm not having it. I'm not having this attitude from Interisti. What club have you guys been supporting over the last 20, 30 years? What this club giving you in the Champions League apart from the 2010 win? Like, where is this attitude coming from? I'm not having it, guys. I'm not having it. Come on, man. I'm not having it. Yeah, I can clip you, bro. There it is. You're here. It says save it. Book it. Arsenal Inter final. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Anyway, guys, I just finished watching the pre-match press conference. So actually very good timing for me. I only put the stream on after I finished work because I wasn't sure what time I was going to finish work. So that's why I apologize with you guys that I don't have this very, strict timeline and I pre-plan everything, all the streams, and have a set schedule. Because I work from home, I have to be quite flexible with my work stuff. So I'm always a bit last minute in terms of setting up these streams. But today I timed it very well because Inzaghi and Lautaro, Capitano Lautaro, just had their pre-match press conference. So we'll just go through a few of the main comments for those guys, and then we'll get into the preview. First of all, Capitano Lautaro spoke, had many questions answered, questions asked to him. Of course, they couldn't avoid talking about the bad moment in Serie A, and he says, bad moment, yeah, these things can happen. We have done a very positive job, except for the last week. We lost 3 games in a row. It hasn't happened for a long time. This hurts, and I hope it does, Lautaro, mate. This hurts, where the team is fine and the group is strong, is united, and this is the key, the solid group. Yeah, I mean, they're really downplaying at the moment. I'm not really seeing much come out from Inter, to be honest. Post-match interviews the other day, we really didn't see much either. It's been very low-key. I guess trying not to really rub salt in the wounds or, get people more angry after the Roma loss. But That is true. What Lautaro says. We know we have a strong group. We don't have no divas and factions in the team and issues within the squad. Um, it is what it is, man. Yeah. What do we want him to say? Do we want him to say, yeah, we're bottlers, we've the bottled it again, 1 Scudetto in 4. That's what we are, serial bottlers. Obviously, he's not going to say that. He's going to downplay. Hey, my boy Mattia's in the house. Hey, Mattia, let me I'll send you the link, bro, if you're able to join. Actually, if you want to give me some company in this. If you missed it, Mattia, I've been hyped. I'm not having the attitude from Interisti that they're not looking forward to this. I'm not having it. I'm not having it. And if you've got time, Mattia, I don't have time for Negativity FC today for this match tomorrow. I need some energy. I need some positivity. I need this. Well, tomorrow probably not a W, but overall, try to get a W over this Barcelona team. It's very hard for me to predict to get a W against this Barca team away, even though it's not at the Camp Nou at the moment. They're still in the other stadium. Or are they? Are they back at the Camp Nou now? I forgot actually where they are these days. I'll just send it to you, Mattia. If you're able to join, let me know. Yeah, I mean, you know how it is. Yeah, there's especially Prem Tods, Arsenal fans. It is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, fair enough, Mattia. No worries. Well, yeah, definitely. If you can join me, maybe pro post match tomorrow, let me know. Marvel Lawson believes in the win. Fair play, bro. Fair play. I don't believe in the win. I think we can get a result out there. I don't believe in the win. I believe we can get a result out there. We got my brother here, Jugnath, who's like doing some prayers and some karma loading in here. I don't know what this brother's doing, but whatever he's doing, hope it works. He's calling in all the gods. Fair play to him. Moving on to Inzaghi, who spoke about Marcus Thuram. We'll get into the injury news in a moment, but the important one for us, Denzel is back. Our pace on the right, our physicality on the right is back. Great. But, let me go back. The most important one, the one that we've seen now, there is proof in the pudding, no denial that without Marcus Thuram, Inter are nothing. So Marcus Thuram trained with the team today, all smiles, all energetic, seems to be fit. According to Inzaghi, as he says there, today he had his first training session, so you're not talking about 100% fit. Thuram, obviously, how long has he been? Yeah, he's not been 100% fit for a long time, let's be real. But it wasn't a very long training session, but the boy did what he had to do. We'll see in the next few hours whether he'll be a starter or not. Tomorrow morning, we'll have a short session and I'll decide. So tomorrow, we gotta cross all fingers. We gotta do all the prayers and voodoo and the juju that Marcus Thuram is able to start for us. Even a 60-70% Marcus Thuram is better than whatever Taremi can give us and what Arnautovic can give us in this, especially against this opponent, Barcelona. Super high defensive line, guys. These guys, their defensive line, imagine this is the halfway line. Their defense line, a lot of the time, is playing here. Most teams is here. Inter's is about there. Barcelona's is here. So what you need is guys in behind running their ass off, obviously trying to stay onside. And obviously the two main guys that for us that can do that are Marcus Thuram and Denzel Dumfries. Maybe Carlos Augusto, but it looks like as we get into now the predicted lineup, it won't be Carlos Augusto, it will be DiMarco. You guys let me know. Let's have a chat about this predicted lineup. I think the big talking point outside of Thuram is really DiMarco, Carlos Augusto, and I think the fan base is, I would say, 80% favorable towards Carlos Augusto, because let's be real, we love DiMarco. Pavard is injured, brother. Pavard is out, Luca Russo, so he can't start. We love DiMarco. Interista, born and bred. maybe between the start of the season and November, mid-December, he was maybe our player of the season. But then since then, our brother DiMarco has completely fallen off the face of the earth in terms of form, in terms of physical fitness. I mean, we know this guy is not blessed. God did not bless our brother DiMarco with athletic capabilities, pace, power, fitness, stamina, but he blessed him with a beautiful left foot and a beautiful technical ability. First half of the season, it seemed like he looked like a different player. He looked like he was, very fit. He was completing full 90 minutes even, but it's caught up to him, and he looks like a shadow of himself. And the thing with DiMarco is he's had the injury as well. Not that an injury is a positive thing, but you saw against Roma, who were the two fittest players? Who were the players that were actually on point compared to others? It was Acerbi, even though he's 37 years old, because he was out injured for a month and a half. And Carlos Augusto, who has some injury issues, but also has not been a starter for a lot of the season. And those two were the ones that were most fresh and fit looking. DiMarco should be on the same level. He came back from injury after a few weeks. He looked decent. I think was it the Udinese game where he got 2 assists when he came back? Or was it Cagliari? I can't remember. Maybe it was Cagliari game where he got 2 assists. That was his return from injury, and he looked, it was like, oh, maybe this injury was a blessing in disguise for DiMarco, because now he's back looking fresh and fit. But no, DiMarco has come back since then looking even worse. I don't know if he's still got some sort of injury issue, or he's just not looking after himself off the pitch, or his body has just reached breaking point because of Italy and Inter duty. He's looking very, very finished, and it's very worrying to me thinking about Lamine Yamal going up against DiMarco 1v1. Not even just about Yamal beating him 1v1. It's about DiMarco. We know what he does. Stepping back, letting a guy play a cross in, play a pass in, play a through ball in, because he stands off. Because Yamal doesn't need to go past you. With that left foot, wow, that boy can create anything. Crosses, through balls, passes in between the lines. So whoever plays there has to be on him, has to be within inches of him, has to be right in his face, blocking the passing lanes, putting pressure on him, making him go backwards. So, yeah, and I can see YouTube experts saying Carlos Augusto is clear. He can defend exactly. If you want, and you are probably going to have to play a defensive game. And again, guys, there is no shame in admitting it. I feel like Interisti sometimes have a bit of shame in admitting it when people say Inter play a 5-3-2, is not a 3-5-2, or Inter are defensive. In the Champions League, we are a defensive team, guys. We defend first. Hansi Flick, when he talked about Inter, first thing he said, yeah, they're a very good defensive team, yeah. First thing he said. Then he said, yeah, very good build-up, yes, all this other stuff. But in the Champions League, that's what we are first, guys. In the group stage, what was it? 1 goal conceded, 2 goals conceded. Afterwards, Feyenoord, when he conceded, it was a penalty. We've been amazing, and that is by defending first. So tomorrow, away at Barcelona, probably, to be honest, I would be starting Carlos Augusto. So, yeah, hopefully the fact that Bastoni and Mkhitaryan were arrested in the last game, they will be able to, have a nice triangle, of course, supported by Hakan in there and Thuram running back, and, team effort as always. But having Mkhitaryan and Bastoni nicely rested hopefully can help DiMarco, if it is going to be him starting on that side, to counteract Yamal. Yeah, DiMarco's not that good defensively. Yeah, but then, DiMarco, but that's the thing, Loki, it's not about doubting DiMarco's ability. And we saw even in the Champions League final, this guy was one of our best players. Remember, against Man City, he was great. Last time we played Barcelona, I thought DiMarco did pretty well. So it's not about that. And of course, even against the other big teams when we play them, DiMarco does in bigger games as well. Over the past few years, DiMarco has a tendency to show up, but in the form that Carlos Augusto is in, what he can offer for us on the counter attack, I would be tempted to start. I would be preferring to start Carlos Augusto personally. Marcello, come on, yes, this is what I want to see. I want to see that positivity coming into the chat. Come on, guys. DiMarco, yeah, he's a fighter, Morish, but we need his body to be ready to fight. That's the issue it's not about his mentality. Well, with his stepping back defensive mentality is a little bit of an issue, but it's not about him not being a fighter. Is sometimes, like recently, he just looks physically, just looks like he doesn't look like a professional at times. Honestly, he doesn't look like he's a professional footballer. Sometimes he's huffing and puffing like he's a guy who smokes shisha and eats shawarma and doner kebabs every other day. When you play in your local league. Marvel also wants to see Carlos Augusto. We can't defend Yamal or Rafinha 1v1. These guys need to be doubled all the time. Yeah. As Hamdan says as well, on the other side, Bisek Rafinha. Well, I mean, the thing with Bisek is he plays better when he starts. We've seen it over the last, especially this season. Bisek plays better when he starts games. And actually, if I had to pick, especially Darmian recently in terms of his downfall, 1v1 and physically, we saw against Leao, Bisek actually matches up very well against guys like Leao. He was the one that's been able to counteract Leao with the pace, the dribbling, because he's got that physical capability. Against Saka, Bisek was great. Guys, let's not forget, it seems like people start being very reactionary when it comes to player performances. Bisek versus Arsenal was one of our best players. He was amazing against Saka, and he was on the left-hand side. So in terms of being able to cope with Rafinha, I have some faith in Bisek for that. But of course, with Bisek, it's more about the concentration levels, not necessarily 1v1. It's about if Rafinha drifts in behind him, if Dani Olmo drifts in behind him, if Ferran Torres drifts in behind him, does he have that concentration at the 75th minute, at the 60th minute? Is it a loose pass from Bisek? That's where the worry with Bisek is. Is he going to be out of position at one point when Inter are, attacking and he left the gap? That's where Bisek is concerning. But Bisek 1v1 against Rafinha, I actually have some confidence in the boy. That's where his strengths lie. Bastoni and DiMarco on the left are much better than Augusto and DiMarco, so DiMarco might perform better. Yeah, of course, Bastoni and DiMarco as a duo are very, very good. Very good understanding and almost telepathic understanding between them two. And yeah, in terms of that, if you want to close out a game, very good point from Hamdan. If you want to close out a game, you want to bring on Carlos Augusto, right? Not with DiMarco. But at the same time, Hamdan, if you're going to play 60, 70 minutes, when you have the energy, you saw this in the team, that we're lacking energy. When we have the energy, is going to be the first half, first 50, 60 minutes. So if we want to take advantage of the space Barcelona leaves, it's going to be the first 50, 60 minutes. So DiMarco, if he's going to start, he's going to have to sprint his life. I want to see that boy run like he's never run before into those spaces, because we'll show you some screenshots. The space is an oil tanker, can be parked in the space that Barcelona leave in behind. Yes, Mirich, come on. Positivity. I want to see that. Yes, Roger, it looks like for now the predicted lineups have Thuram playing, but we'll have to see tomorrow. Freddie Boss also says start Carlos Augusto. Lord Figo in house. I know Lord Figo is always reliable for energy, positivity. But Lord Figo, where's the hashtag my Scudetto gone? Where's that hashtag gone? I want to see your answer on that one, brother. With Bisek being in, I'm not worried because Lewa is out for them yet. I'm going to cover that in a moment because that is a massive, massive miss for Barcelona. But at the same time, Alexander, we could argue in some way it could counteract in another way for Inter. I'll get into that in a moment. Jeffrey in the house says, call me crazy, but I still believe that if we play like ourselves, we will not suffer tomorrow. Well, we will suffer because that is how we've been playing in the Champions League, Jeffrey, in terms of we do absorb a bit of pressure. Arsenal, Man City, Bayern Munich, in all these big games, great performances, but we had to go through moments of suffering. But yeah, as you said, if we play like ourselves, like we played against these big teams this season in the Champions League, concentrated, switched on, ready to take advantage of their mistakes, ready to take advantage of their high line, ready to take advantage of their individuals because they are missing some big players. And even without, like, we're not talking about, all timers here. Some of their players, we'll get into their lineup in a moment. They're probably the best team in Europe right now, but individually, man for man, some of these guys, we're not talking about Jordi Alba, Carlos Puyol, Gerard Piqué here. Some of these guys individually on an individual level, not all timers. So, and I've seen them make mistakes. I watch Barcelona. They are a very exciting team to watch this year, but they make mistakes. But most of the time in La Liga, they've been able to just outscore their opponents. They're just monsters. They're just absolute monsters. But we are also monsters defensively. Yeah, but this is what I like when they do this, Yusuf. I like it when they shit on Italian teams. I like it when they shit on Inter. I like it when they underrated. I like it when they underestimate us because that's what we perform best. We'll get into prediction in a moment or at the end of the stream, Abdi, but he's confident with predicting a win. Trabs, how many offside traps will have forward runs in, bro? There's going to be at least 5 or 6 offsides for sure. At least, for sure. We might even get into double digits, but keep doing that. Keep going. Keep going. I don't care if you hit the keep getting to offside. Don't get discouraged. Keep putting that ball in behind. Trust. 1% chance, 99% faith. Hamdan is correct. Inzaghi sees opportunities for Dima in the first half. Lots of space. Yeah, 100%. As I said, I'm not completely against it. It's my personal opinion that if we are going to have in the opportunities, in my opinion, if we are the opportunity in the first half is being able to run in behind. But again, you could say that, Carlos Augusto could do what he did against Bayern Munich in the last 15, 20 minutes coming on, run in behind, run like a madman like he does, and take advantage of that space. Miric is joining the My Scudetto train, and there he is. He said he's not going down with the ship. He's not going down. My guy, Lord Figo. I gotta give him credit. He never backs down. Unfortunately, Inzaghi's only landed in 1 Scudetto out of 4 for now, but he's still believing in it. Unfortunately, Lord Figo, I'm not on the Scudetto train anymore. Yeah, these guys just look completely cooked in Serie A. I mean, we need to we'll have a conversation, Kevin, about Inzaghi. Like, again, sometimes I feel like he's a little bit too coddled and treated like a special needs kid by the Interisti fan base, because we are now talking about the highest earning team in Serie A. Inzaghi is now the highest earning coach in Serie A alongside Conte. Investment is not just the transfer fees. It's also the annual costs of a squad, which Inter are very high in. So, but yeah, in terms of credit, but we always give them that credit, Kevin K. Like Acerbi, Mkhitaryan, Hakan, reinvention, he gets all that credit. But at the same time, he has the best squad, best players in Serie A. And the fact that he's not been able to get the best out of these guys, they're looking absolutely cooked. He's not pushing the transfer window when he should be pushing for more players if he needs them, different profiles if he needs them. That's on him as well. But we'll have that conversation in the coming weeks. There has to be a proper conversation about everything. Inzaghi is not blameless in all of this. But again, I'm not calling for Inzaghi out. I'm not saying we should replace him. It's about having a real, honest conversation about where blame lies. And it lies in a lot of places. And Inzaghi is one of those places. I actually feel this game is the best matchup for us tactics-wise. I mean, in a way, I mean, we've never played, unfortunately, we've never played a team like this. Bayern press up, they press high, they have a high line, but this is a different level, the way Barcelona play. This is very different. Maybe on our day, if we're fully physically fit, I would agree that, in transition on a counter-attack, this could be the perfect game for us. But in the physical state that we're in right now, with Thuram not fully fit, if he even starts tomorrow, Dumfries has just come back from injury, and obviously everyone else being cooked, is probably not the best timing for us. But tactics-wise, I can see what you mean. Yeah, definitely. I can see us channeling, Hector. I can see us channeling those 2010 vibes. Parking the bus, inshallah. Inzaghi onto the pitch at the end of the match with the sprinklers out. I want him to recreate that. Definitely, we have to channel a bit of that. There is going to be some suffering. There is going to be some suffering. Zoma is going to be peppered. He's going to be peppered. He's going to have to be very active. He's going to have to be reactive. He's going to have to be ready. Our boys are going to have to put their bodies on the line. It's going to be one of those games, 100%. And yes, Javier, I agree. It might sound crazy. It was mentioned in the Italian media as a possibility that Inzaghi's thinking about it. Frattesi, the midfielder who touches the ball 4 times, passes the ball 4 times in 80 minutes in a football game. That guy with this Barcelona high line, tell him, don't come into midfield. It's fine. Don't touch the ball 5 times all game. What I want him to do, press like a madman when we need to. And then when we have the ball, like a headless chicken that he is, brother, you go. When Bastoni has the ball, when Barella, Hakan have the ball, in behind, looking for the run, boom. This guy has running power. This guy has more pace than all of our other midfielders. This guy has, in terms of IQ, he has very little IQ, footballing IQ. But when it comes to movement, especially into the final third, in the area, in the box, brother, go and cause your chaos. Go and try to score goals. Go and try to create something. I'm actually definitely, if Marcus Thuram is not fit, ahead of Taremi, ahead of Arnautovic, and I think Correa's not even in the Champions League squad. So ahead of Taremi and Arnautovic, I actually would opt for Frattesi as a striker, especially even in the second half as an option. 100%. I'm not even joking. Let's go. He's misprofiled. Let that brother live his best life and probably what it should be his real position. Yeah, there you go. There you go. I'm the 100%. 100%. Now let's get into quickly some stats as well of Inter versus Barcelona. Last few meetings between us, previous 6 meetings from who scored. So Barcelona have a better record against us recently, 3 out of 6 wins. But we have the one big win that took us past the group stage last time round in 2022. Of course, our Champions League final year. 1-0 at home. Hakan Banga. Hakan, that's the game where Inzaghi converted him into a CDM, into a regista. Historic moment, like Spalletti when he converted Brozovic into a regista against Napoli in 2018. I remember that game forever. And then, of course, Barcelona into 3-3. What a crazy game that was. That was my birthday, 12th of October, 2022. I remember watching that game. What a crazy game. Lautaro turning up in the second half. Barella, amazing goal. Gosens with that last-minute goal. Aslani could have won it. What a game that was. And that took us past them in the group stage. Great, great memories. But then before that, of course, Barcelona have had the better of us more recent times under Conte. Both of those years, unfortunately. But similar to Bayern Munich, when we go to the big moments, these are all group stage moments we're talking about here. But when you go to actual knockout moments, the last one is still that 2010 when we beat them at home 3-1, and then we lost but still qualified when we went away to the Camp Nou. And here they are, the big talking points, the big misses. So for Inter, we know Benji Pavard, 100%. He is out of this game. Maybe he'll be back for the second leg, they say. But we know with Inter now, they always seem to underestimate all these injuries. Carboni doesn't count. He doesn't exist. He's a figment of our imagination. Marcus Thuram. Doubtful, but it seems like he may be able to start, and I hope so. Now, let's get into Barca. Marc Casado, he is a rotational midfielder for them. He's out. Marc Bernal, he's out. Now, the big one, Robert Lewandowski, 100% out. They're talking about that. Maybe he comes back for the second leg, but there's probably a doubt. Top scorer in La Liga as well, right? Let me just double check my facts. I'm pretty 99% sure that Lewandowski is top scorer in La Liga. Yeah, with 25 goals ahead of Kylian Mbappe. He is the top scorer in La Liga, still going strong at his age. 98 minutes per goal. 0.92 goals per 90. What an all-timer, this guy. Absolute all-timer of a striker. And he's out. Massive miss. But is he the type of striker that Acerbi and our defense likes to play against? You know, the likes of Haaland, the likes of, I know he scored against us, the likes of, Harry Kane, you could say, those types of guys, Lukaku, the guys that are going to be more in the box, typical number 9s, back to goal at times, spending them most of the time in the box, the type of player that especially Acerbi likes to play against. Yeah, so that is the question. Is this, the fact that they're going to have to play Ferran Torres and Dani Olmo, both of them kind of playing in that pocket, playing as the false 9, mainly going to be Ferran Torres running in behind with a lot more pace, with a lot more mobility, less reference point, less hold-up play, but more questions asked of Bisek in the channels, of Bastoni in the channels, of Acerbi. Does he come to get Ferran Torres deep, or does he let him? Does he step back to not let him run behind? More questions. I think Ferran Torres. I'm not saying Ferran Torres is a better player than Lewandowski, but I think Ferran Torres will ask more questions to our defense than Lewa. Whoa! Look at this. Barca fan here saying he's glad Leva's not playing. For some reason, I feel like Lewandowski's opinion. I don't know if this is let me know. IMD money, but I feel like even though he's been stat padding goals for Barcelona over the last, since he's been starting, Lewandowski seems to be an opinion splitting player for you guys. I'm not sure why, because obviously I don't watch a lot. I watch Barcelona games, but I don't watch every Barcelona game. Why is that he seems to be so opinion splitting for Barcelona fans when when you look at the stats, when you look at his track record? He should be, should be kissing the ground that he walks on. Very interesting. Funny start in 2023, Inter lost back-to-back to Udinese and Roma, and this is the same. Lose to Roma, we're playing against Barcelona. I'm raising Carlo Ancelotti eyebrow, if you get my logic. Yeah. I mean, surely we got to bounce back at some point, right? 3 losses in a row. At some point, we got to bounce back. So hopefully it is this game, and hopefully your here comes true again. I can see them putting on a masterclass after recent performances. Now that, all eggs have to be in this basket, right, Freddie? All eggs have to be in this UCL basket. Yeah. We'll talk about that for sure, Hector. Oh, here he is. Amdiman says he's a tap-in merchant. Bro, the world of football needs tap-in merchants. Anyway, against defense like yours, we struggle. He doesn't run channels. His first touch is horrible. It's like playing with 10 men until a tap-in. See, this is what I mean. Like, in my mind, especially because I used to watch him a lot for Bayern Munich, Leva, to me, he's a complete number 9, in terms of touch, bringing players into play, people into play, link up, all that kind of stuff. But I don't watch him as often now at this age. So I'm sure there's been, a downward trajectory in his play at his age. So, yeah, there you go. Maybe Ferran Torres gives them a bit more. But then the thing is, IMD Money, we're going to play a little bit deeper as well. compared to some teams that you might have played, especially depending on that Dortmund team. We're going to play. They're very different to how Dortmund played against you guys. Those guys, play kamikaze defensive line as well. So it's not like Ferran Torres is going to have all these acres to run into either. But I see your point. It's interesting. And yeah, of course, there's that argument of similar to Cristiano at Juventus is the money and the salary that Lewandowski's on, especially in this financial situation Barcelona's in. Can they actually really afford him? If we manage to get a result tomorrow, should Inzaghi and the boys? Yeah. I mean, then you just go all in. I mean, he's still not going to rotate really, Hamdan. I mean, we're right there. We're 3 points away from Napoli, so we can't even do that. But 100%, we have to put in you have to go all in for UCL. Because we saw Buongiorno's out for the season now for Napoli. Buongiorno's out. David Neres is still out. The hope, we're still right there. It's not like we're 6-7 points away. We are right there. One loss and we're back in. One loss for them, one win, we're back there. I know it sounds stupid now with the way we were playing, but in terms of cold hard facts, we're right there. And you saw Inzaghi, let's be real. Does he give up any competition? No, he doesn't give up any competition, and he's not going to do that now, is he? Ferran has been a striker that cooks low blocks for us. Ferran is the only reason we beat Atleti. Cholo Simeone plays a very low block like you guys. Okay, interesting. Let's see then. What about Alejandro Balde? I mean, to me, this is like the Alphonso Davies. I mean, in terms of profile, that's almost a carbon copy of Alphonso Davies. Alejandro Balde, a guy that on a 100-meter race, how many players in world football can be Alejandro Balde? Maybe Alphonso Davies, maybe Mbappe, maybe Vinicius, but not many others. Maybe Adama Traore. You're talking about one of the quickest players in world football. Once he starts running, in terms of running with the ball as well, ball carrying ability from deep, you try to press him, this guy can erase your press in one run, similar to, in Serie A, Theo Hernandez can do at times, Nuno Tavares can do. So this is a massive, massive miss. Maybe Balde is actually a bigger miss for Barcelona than Lewandowski in a way, because their substitute, and the Barcelona fan, if he's still here, he can tell you, his sub, Gerard Martin, not particularly. I mean, I only watched him play this one time. 23-year-old. He didn't look that great to me. This Martin guy, defensively going forward. So actually, he could end up. The left back miss could be really, really big for Barcelona. And again, this is what I'm talking about earlier. Someone was saying God needs to help Inter. In a way, that little bit of help has come. Maybe Marcus Thuram is coming back for us in time. Dumfries is back for us. Zielinski's back for us now, just in time for his game for them. Lewandowski out. Martin is out. And Casado is out. Bernal is out. Bernal is... yeah, he doesn't really play for them, so he's not too much of a big miss. But yeah, those are 3 significant injuries to their team. And there's also, of course, the doubt between who's going to play in goal. Szczesny's been playing recently because of Ter Stegen. And I think he will continue. Definitely continue. I don't think he's back ready for this game for sure. But yeah, Szczesny has a mistake in him. Speaking earlier, what I was saying, this is a very good team, maybe the best team in Europe at the moment, but Gerard Martin, definitely a weak spot in his team. Inigo Martinez, this is a guy actually, if you guys remember a couple of seasons ago when he was a free transfer, I was saying Inter should look at him as a free transfer signing, as a centre-back. Has been a good signing for them, but, we're not talking about Gerard Piqué here. Kubarsi, of course, the most hyped centre-back in world football right now. But, of course, there's the the rivalry that Barcelona fans of between Bastoni and Kubarsi for some reason. Plays like he's a 30-year-old centre back, not an 18-year-old centre back. But again, can make a mistake, especially with that high line. He's not infallible. He's not 100% mistake free, and it's very hard to be in that high line as well. Yeah, De Jong for Barcelona. A few years ago, he was definitely maybe the best centre mid talent in the world, but I think he stagnated, Frankie De Jong, over the last few years at Barcelona. Still, when it comes to ball carrying ability, passing ability is great, but defensively, is he the most disciplined? Is he always following the runs like he should be? No. So, yeah, great team, best team in Europe right now, but not flawless team. I don't think this is a monstrous team. This is not like the Barcelona 2010 team that we beat. This is not the old-timer Barcelona team for sure. But it is a young, energetic Barcelona team. And also, they had to play extra time against the Real Madrid recently, in the Copa del Rey final. That was a very intense game, physically, emotionally. They had to go to extra time. They also had to play a league game. Sorry, that was on the weekend, so they didn't have to play a league game since. But they went to extra time. They had a day extra rest compared to Inter, but still, an emotionally and physically draining match that they went through, and they're probably going to play the exact same lineup again. So we're talking about Inter being tired, not rotation. Inzaghi doesn't rotate. He doesn't do this, doesn't do that. Looks like Barcelona are going to play the exact same team as they did against Real Madrid. So, yeah. Look at stat-wise, man. These guys pepper the goal, regardless of who they're playing against. 22 shots, 9 on target. Sommer and everyone is going to have to be on their A game. Yeah, let me go back to some of your comments now. The Barcelona fan says he'll be happy to survive tomorrow. Balde isn't in. He didn't train with the team. Real Madrid took a lot out of us. Flick said he's rotating. Rotating is scary. Yes, Balde, very important. Yeah, there you go. So you see, Balde might be even a bigger miss than Leva. So similar, as I said, in a way, Inter playing them at maybe the right time, just after extra time against Real Madrid, draining. No Lewandowski, no Balde. And Bayern, there was no Upamecano, no Musiala, no Alphonso Davies. Exactly, Nico. That's what I've been saying. I've been fighting against people in the chat. They're saying, "Oh, I'm not looking forward to this. Oh, I don't know how Interisti can get hyped about this." Man, get the hell out of here. This is a Champions League semi-final against Barcelona. How can you not get hyped for this? My guy, Nico. You know ball. Dumfries will cook tomorrow, predicting a ghost is like goal. Ooh, I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. I can see that. With a fresh Dumfries coming back in. And he's going to have to be. We saw even, remember last time Dumfries as well, he had a massive chance at the Camp Nou. If you remember the 3-3 game, there was one where he should have done better. He was in to space. And that was Xavi's Barcelona. This is Hansi Flick's Barcelona, so you're going to find even more space. Yeah, their midfielders gas tank, but at the same time, as I was saying, Hackso, because we're talking about Inter has played a lot of games, and we have an older team, of course, that makes a difference. But they're not immune to it. It's not like because Pedri is younger, he's immune to it. You saw Pedri over the last few years because he's had his injury issues because of how much he's played for Spain and Barcelona non-stop. De Jong has had his injury issues as well over the last few years. They play a lot of football as well. Just because they're younger doesn't mean they're just machines. After 120 minutes of football, they're also going to be a bit tired. But yeah, we see in Inter at the moment, they're completely out of gas tank, 100%. And now let's get into a few little tactical things that I prepared. Not really tactical, like, tactical deep dive. Guys, tactical. Look at this 4-2-3-1 breakdown. It's just about that Barcelona high line. It's very, very simple. It's not rocket science. I'm not a footballing genius. I don't have a high footballing IQ. It doesn't take a genius to understand, but it's not. But doing it is actually a lot harder than you think, because Barcelona have been doing this all season, but somehow they've barely got punished for it. And Dortmund almost did. They beat them 3-1, Dortmund, on the return leg. They almost completed a comeback against these guys after being 4-0 down. And that is by risking, taking a gamble. And everyone's going to have to do that tomorrow, whether it's Barella making runs from deep, Mkhitaryan, even Hakan maybe doing a surprise run from midfield, just try to surprise their line. And of course, the wing backs, Di Marco, Dumfries especially, Thuram, Lautaro, any of these guys try to make these runs in behind. Here, Dortmund score, but it was offside. But look where the line is, guys. Look where that line is. And they're all moving forward. But if Brandt there had just, held his nerve for a little bit longer, different story. Set pieces. Inter, we are one of the best set piece teams in Europe. In Italy, I think we might have scored the most set piece goals. Corners, indirect free kicks. Hakan, Di Marco tomorrow have to be on point. This Barcelona team is not a tall team. They don't have guys that dominate in the air. Koundé is good in the air. Kobashi is good in the air. Inigo Martinez is good in the air. But apart from that, especially no Lewandowski, the average height goes even lower. Let me see what actually the average heights are, because usually they show it on who scored, doesn't it? Yeah, there you go. Average height, if it's this lineup, slightly shorter than Inter's, and we know we've got some specialists in the air. Bisek, monster in the air. Cherby's good in the air. Dumfries, absolute monster in the air. Lautaro, even though he's short, great in the air. And of course, Thuram here and there can also be good in the air. Of course, we have two great set-piece takers in Di Marco and Hakan. Here, they don't score from Dortmund, but look at that completely free header from an indirect free kick. Corner, they score from this. In-swinging corner. This could be Di Marco. Pinging it in. Far post. I think it's Ben Sebaini. Jumps. Gets the header back in. Guirassy scores. This is something that we can take advantage of. They're not a team that dominates on set pieces. We need to make our strengths count. And then again, going back to the high line. Please, guys, I beg of you, just keep doing it. I don't care how many offsides there are. Hold your nerve a little bit and then just run for your dear life. Curve your run a little bit and run for dear life. These guys will keep doing this all game, whether it's the first 5 minutes or the 80th minute. These guys will keep pushing the line high. If you can take advantage of this, do it. Just put that ball in behind, nicely curve it, nicely weighted, and just have runners in behind, because they keep doing it. This is Celta Vigo. This is not even Champions League. 15th minute of the game, ball in behind to their winger. Look where the striker is for Celta Vigo, Borja Iglesias. Not even fast, but he's just camping up there, and they score from this. If you press them, or if they make a mistake, that ball is always there. We might have to take some risks because we don't have wingers, so it means that our wing backs at some points might have to be pushed a bit higher. We might have to gamble a little bit, or let Thuram camp on the wing more than he does usually. Just like let him rest on the wing and just be there for these opportunities. Something different we have to do, but these opportunities will be there. And look at this, 58th minute. They score from this. Again, it's not even about pace. Borja Iglesias, that guy is this is not a quick guy. This is a guy who probably has the pace of Francesco Acerbi. But when you have a line like that, you don't even need to be quick. Because even there, you can see Kubarsi is actually moving forward rather than back, because he's trying to catch him offside. When you play like this, mistakes can happen. And it's so surprising to me that they just don't get it. They do it so well that they don't get punished. But at some point, they will make a mistake, and we need to take advantage of it. And even from deeper situation, look at the minute, guys. They're losing 2-1. Look where that's their last man is in the past the halfway line. So whether it's, again, as I said, whether it's the 5th minute, the 80th minute, these guys, especially if they're losing, these guys will go all in. And these guys, our boys, have to be switched on at all times, ready to take advantage of these opportunities to ping the ball in behind if it's there. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Taremi. I don't care if it's Arnautovic. I don't care if it's Lautaro. These guys that have no pace. I don't care if it's Darmian. I don't care if it's Di Marco. You're there. The opportunity is there. But of course, this is, trying. This is obviously trying to find. This is the obvious weakness of Barcelona. But apart from that, this team, they will press our ass off. They will create chances after chances after chances. And even if they don't play well, they have the individual moments of Rafinha, who has been the best form of his life. Yamal, who is maybe Ballon d'Or worthy already at the age of 17. And guys like Dani Olmo and Ferran Torres, especially Ferran Torres, has been crazy form. And Pedri, of course, Pedri honestly should be in the Ballon d'Or conversation as well. Even if they don't play well, they can create things out of nothing. Any moment. Let's enjoy this game. Don't take Champions League final for granted. Exactly, Doug. What team have you been supporting for the last 30 years that you guys are like scoffing on the Champions League semi-final? Like, get a reality check, guys. Yeah, 100%, Terry. The Yamal facing Di Marco 1v1 is going to give us blood pressure raised tomorrow for sure. 100%. Oh, yeah, 100%. They have a high line because they press high. They're not like they just like, they don't press and they just have a high line. They press high from the strikers and they have a high line. So, yeah, maybe I can see your point about having De Vrij because maybe he's better on the ball than Cherby. But we also have Bisek there at the back as well. Bisek is very good on the ball. We have Bastoni and with Di Marco. In terms of our build-up, we are better suited, especially without Augusto. Our build-up with Di Marco in there, Bastoni, Bisek, Mkhitaryan, Hakan, Barella, that's sorted. And then Dumfries, obviously, tell him to get the hell out. Do not get involved with build-up play, brother. You go and attack the space. Do not get involved with build-up play. We do not want to see your brick feet anywhere near the defense when we're building up, brother. And there is a flip side. We create scoring chances from anywhere. We don't have to work through the gears like other teams you might have played. Yep, 100%. Here it is. Want to do something? Yeah, Dumfries definitely. Dumfries has to be a big player. Yeah, that's the flip. You don't take advantage of that counter, we take advantage of you on the counter back. We need a bit of Pata Inter tomorrow. I think we will see the show. We will see some Pata Inter tomorrow for sure. Boss has one tactic, I know for sure. Every corner will be played out, not crossed. Yeah, that's okay because they're not tall. There's not real any, especially without Lewandowski. Who is going to be their threat? So yeah, they do like a short corner. So our guys need to be switched on for those set pieces. Yeah, Mickey definitely in his ball carrying ability will need to be important. Barcelona fans are going to be rubbing their eyes when they see Mickey carrying the ball for like 20, 30 meters. It's like, what? Mkhitaryan, 36-year-old, still can do that? Yes, he can. And tomorrow he will be important in that for sure. And of course, the Pedri versus Barella argument, debate, that's going to be one of the big talking points. I'm excited for that battle. Hakan versus Frankie de Jong. There's lots of interesting matchups for sure. Dumfries versus Rafinha, all these matchups. Lautaro, brother, I need you on. Last 2 times we've played against Barcelona at the Camp Nou, he scored. So hopefully he continues that. Thuram, hopefully, can give us something. Yeah, no, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I think we can do something. I think we can cook something. I'm not saying we're winning. I think we can cook and draw out there. And yeah, we're not going anywhere without lack of clinical ability. Recently, we've even hard struggled to create. Let's be real. Usually, we're a chance creation machine, especially in Serie A. Recently, we've three losses in a row. We've barely created anything. So tomorrow, if we create, we need to take advantage of it. We need to take advantage of it. We already talked about this, Diego. If you missed it at the beginning, I said I would start Augusto because of his defensive ability and counter-attacking ability. But if you're talking about build-up play and wanting to take up advantage of your energy levels in the first half, Di Marco also makes sense. But personally, I would go for Augusto. But Nick Knox, it's also about, this team has been different in the Champions League as well. That's the belief. I understand in Serie A, Coppa Italia, we've been bricking it. We've been absolutely useless, and our energy levels look absolutely cooked. But we also know how important this is, Nick Knox. All season, the only competition that we've looked serious in is the Champions League. And again, even if we're not looking forward to it in terms of this team doesn't give us faith looking forward to it, it's still a Champions League semi-final, Nick Knox. So regardless of how we've been playing, Champions League night at the away to Barcelona is always exciting. And yeah, we've made this comparison since the beginning of his time at Inter. He does give a lot of Ancelotti vibes, fortunately or unfortunately. Inzaghi very much seems like a cup competition guy. So let's see. Maybe he can save his ass once again this season with a run in the Champions League. Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think both because Champions League ties are really exciting. On the other side, PSG, Arsenal are really exciting as well. What's everyone thought on Champions League? On Arsenal, PSG. That's an interesting one. To be honest, Arsenal, they're very convincing. I think in terms of, I think the two best teams in form at the moment in Europe are PSG and Barca. But Arsenal have this solidity about them. They remind me of a Serie A teams at times. They're happy, Arsenal, to kind of play 4 or 5 centre backs. Sometimes be able to sit back. Sometimes play a little bit ugly. Sometimes whereas PSG is like very pretty football, attacking when things are going well, when the momentum is when they look almost unstoppable individually. So I don't know. And Arsenal probably go all in for Champions League now because they Liverpool won the Premier League, same as PSG though, who already won the Ligue 1, so they're all in. But as much as it annoys me, I think Arsenal make it to the final. As much as it annoys me. So yeah, that's I don't know what you guys think. Site says 2-1 PSG. Mateo says PSG will go to the final. Alex says Arsenal got this, but it will be tight. Morris says Arsenal. Yeah, I think it will be tight. I don't think it will be an easy tie either way. Both ties. I think Thuram for sure will be rusty. Dumfries maybe as well, but he had some minutes already against Roma. His injury was, a few weeks. Yeah, physically he's a big guy, so could take Dumfries a little bit of time. But he's gonna get space. That's the thing. Tomorrow's gonna get space. Dumfries. He doesn't get that type of space in Serie A games, so he might be rusty in terms of his touch and his decision making. But I expect him to be able to thrive in that space. But yeah, let's finish up now, guys. Give me your predictions. Give me your prediction for tomorrow. Come on. This is the predicted lineup as per Sky Sport Italia, which is not this one. This one, which, as I said, apart from maybe Carlos Augusto, is the best one that we can play right now in terms of form and availability. It gives me hope. It gives me some bit of faith. Of course, if you think about it logically, if you watched Inter play recently, Inter should lose. Inter should get smashed because they look finished physically, mentally. But I think this team has been wanting Champions League all year, has been playing Champions League properly all year. focuses on Champions League. Now after 3 losses in a row, this is literally last chance saloon. Otherwise, your season is absolute waste. So I think we are going to see a bounce back from these guys on a big Champions League night. They love it. They love a big Champions League night. So I am going to go for another exciting game like we had last time round against Barcelona. I'm going to go for a 2-2 or a 3-3 once again. A massive back to front type of game like that time. Nick Knox says 3-0 Barca. As I said, logically, if you watched Inter, that makes 100% sense. Maybe I'm completely deluded and delusional and lost the plot. I mean, actually, this guy here probably has lost the plot. 2-0 Forza Inter, he says. Matteo says 2-2. Terry says 2-2. Morris says 1-1. Hamdan says 3-3 like last time. Alex says 2-1. This is still even not a bad result, to be honest, Alex. As he says, even if we lose 2-1, take it to the San Siro, it's not the end of the world in the form that we're in. I wouldn't lose sleep over that result. And you saw what Dortmund did. They were 4-0 down, Dortmund, and they managed to come back 3-1. So even that is not the end of the world type of result. But of course, then that you get to 4 losses in a row. Then it becomes a big mental toll as well on these guys. 4-0 Barca if DiMarco starts. 2-2. The Barca fan says 2-2. Look at that. 2-2 Inter go up. 2-0 Barca comes back at the end. Oh, that would be painful. That would feel like a loss, Freddie. 1-0 Inter. We definitely can't hold the clean sheet at the Camp Nou, guys. Definitely can't hold a clean sheet at Barcelona at home. I don't know how I can say we could look good after we scraped Bayern, injured Bayern. But we play a lot better, Nick Knox. We play a lot better, Nick Knox. 3-0 Carlos Augusto starts. 0-0 Edson says, definitely not 0-0. Definitely not. Hope Mourinho will be watching 0-1. 4-4. 2-2, 2-1 Inter. Is that I give you Magalini Sport if we get past Barca? I think we're going to get crushed, unfortunately. No, this is the game. This is the game for Mkhitaryan. This is the game for Mkhitaryan on transition. But yeah, at least we've got Zielinski back on the bench on the second half. Keep in mind, even the first game, even the 4-0 one, it's not even just the one where they won. This Barcelona team will always give you opportunities. No more away goals. No more away goals. Thank you, guys, for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed that. You enjoyed my delusion and my delusional Interismo. But I'm just not having it, guys. It's a Champions League semi-final. I don't care what you guys say. I'm excited for it. I'm waiting for the game tomorrow. And, of course, we're going to watch Arsenal PSG, which is kicking off now. So leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know your predictions down below if you're watching this afterwards. Ciao, ragazzi. Forza Inter. See you for the post-match tomorrow. Ciao. Let's get this W.